Okay, well, here's my review, I guess, of the AdSim advertising simulation by SmartSims. Kind of like what I thought, what I liked, what I didn't like going through the simulation. Um, Compared to the other simulation that I did a review of, the Music to Go marketing one. I like this one a lot more. This was probably one of my favorite simulations that I run. I mean, I've only run three, but this one, in terms of the content, the simplicity, the like competitiveness of it in single player against the computers, it was a lot of fun to go through. Um, uh, I guess instead of doing like a pros cons like I did in the last one, kind of just want to touch on what this one did better in terms of the music to go. Um, so music to go didn't really have much content. It was kind of like a couple decisions, and then you did like 4 years of like, well, yeah, you made the decisions. Let's hopefully they pay off. This one has a lot more content in terms of your decision making, which I really enjoyed. Like it goes into like, for example, when you're doing your radio, it's not just you're putting money into radio. It's okay, you can put it into country stations, adult alternative, contemporary, jazz, stuff like that. And then you can even go in further for, I think it's country and adult alternative, where you can actually then go in and like choose the time in which your ads would show up. So, for example, like if you want like the early morning drive, you can put like 3% of your budget there, and then it's like maybe you want more on the rush hour coming back home around like 5 p.m. So having that decision really just breaks it down and gives you that sense of like you're actually making an advertising plan instead of just saying, yeah, let's put $1 million into the radio. It's okay, we put $1 million in the radio, but how are we putting that 1 million into the radio? So that's what I also liked. A lot more decisions, and it up until I think it's the seventh year. So your final 2 years are the ones where it's like, okay, you've made a lot of your decisions. Good luck for the last couple of years. Um, so it kind of just it lasts a bit longer with the freshness of having a lot of decisions, like slowly introducing like your CRM, and then like your marketing communications. I believe it's what it was called the year after, and then like really still tinkering with everything as you go. It just feels like in comparison to music to go, it feels like it's just a lot more content, and it doesn't feel like rushed or just like it ends a little early, but they're like, oh, we still need it to go 8 years, so just keep tinkering. This one goes for, I think, at least seven before it kind of goes, yeah, kind of just tinker for your last year, maybe your last 2 years. But so single player, I really, really enjoyed it. Having it not just be against one computer, having it against four computers, really saturating the market, and having the computers at different levels was really cool. Like where one firm will do really, really well, one firm will do really, really bad, and then two will kind of like mix and match in the middle, and then it's throwing you in the middle of this chaos. And how do your decisions turn out? Are you on the upper end? Are you in the middle? Or are you at the lower end? So that was a really cool. In comparison, like the music to go one was one computer who gets a head start, which to me I didn't really like or enjoy. And in terms of Mike's bikes, it was kind of just it was one who starts at the same thing, but it kind of just felt like it was an easy AI. Um, so this kind of everyone starting on a level playing field and having multiple competitors in the offline single player mode, and then also having them at various different levels was amazing. The market research, music to goes was like 250 to 500,000, and it was like no in between. It either costed 250,000 or it costed 500,000, and a lot of the time, I think three of the five are almost useless until like near the end, and they're the ones that are like 500,000. So it's like if you buy it, you just wasted $500,000, and it basic like one of them tells you, yeah, the minimum price is this and the maximum price is this. It's like that tells you on the first page of the first time you open the simulation of what the price is. So if you didn't read that going in the free section, you just paid 500,000 for them to tell you what was in a free section. So the market research for AdSim, perfectly priced, 25,000 to 50,000. So it's like 10 times cheaper. Um, if you regret buying one, it's 25 or 50,000 as opposed to 250 or 500,000. It's a little easier to take, and yeah, it also seems to be more. It's more market research that you have the options to buy. I think by the end of it, you have like close to like 12 to 15, I think somewhere in that range of market researches that you can buy as opposed to five in Music to Go. But they're cheaper and they're better and there's more of them. So for me, AdSims seems like it does what Music to Go does, but in a better way. So if you're having to choose between, I would say AdSim or Music to Go, I 100% would go AdSim. It does what Music to Go does better. It's easier to understand, gets more done, and I think it's just a lot more simple in terms of working through it, but it also teaches you more when you really delve into it. Music to Go seems like it's just really hard to understand, and then it's difficult. This is easy, and if you really want to delve into it, yeah, you do a bit of market research and you have to learn some stuff. But I think the payoff is a lot better. So I would give AdSim honestly a 9.5 at 10 out of 10. This one was amazing. Congrats, SmartSims. This was a really good simulation, and I highly recommend this one for anyone doing advertising, marketing, market research, any of those things. I highly recommend AdSim Advertising by SmartSims. Great, great simulation.